I'm showing you the easiest and quickest way to make gluten-free oat flour crepes that are mixed in a blender. Hello, my name is Nicole Bonilla and I am so glad you're here. If you like easy, healthier recipes made with all natural ingredients, then you are in the right place. To make these oat flour crepes, we're going to start with our oat flour. And you can either use store-bought oat flour or you can grind your own. I'm going to use my NutriBullet, but you could use any upright blender or food processor. I've just filled my blender cup with some old-fashioned oats up to the max fill line. And I found that with this blender cup, if I fill it to the max fill line, then it has enough weight from the oats that it blends easily. This recipe only needs 1 cup of oat flour, but I'll be able to put the extra to use. So I'm just going to screw on my lid, and then I'll push it down on the base and just let it go until I have a fine flour. So within about 10 seconds, we instantly have some oat flour. I'm going to measure out 1 cup of oat flour, and then I can store the extra to use in other recipes. To make the crepe batter, I'm going to use my same cup. And since we'll be turning this upside down, I found that it works best if we put our wet ingredients in first and then the dry on top, so that when it's upside down, our wet ingredients are on top. I'm starting with 1 cup of milk, and I'm using almond milk, but you can use any kind that you like. And then I'm adding 2 eggs, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, 1 tablespoon of oil, and light olive oil is my favorite, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1/4 teaspoon salt. Then I'll add in 1 cup of our oat flour, and then screw on the base, and then I'll press the cup down on the base just until the ingredients are blended. And now we have a very delicious and lightly sweetened crepe batter. And then I'm going to screw on my lid. It has this really convenient little spout that will make it very easy for pouring the batter into our measuring cup. To make our crepes, I'm using a 10-inch nonstick fry pan, and you'll want to bring it just under a medium heat. And then we want to butter our pan, and I found the easiest way to do that is to just take a cold stick of butter and then just run it over the pan. And then I'll pour 1/4 cup of batter, and then I'm going to pour it into my pan, and then immediately start to move the batter around so that it fills the surface of the pan. And then we're just going to let it cook for about a minute until our edges are starting to turn a really light toasted brown. And as soon as I start to see some steam coming up, I'm going to take my spatula and run it around to just loosen up the edge. And then with a larger flat spatula, I'm going to go ahead and just lift up the corner and see that it's already starting to toast. I found the easiest way to flip the crepe is to go ahead and scoop my spatula up underneath it. And I can even take my fingers and carefully help lift. And as soon as my spatula is in the center of it, I'll just lift up and flip over. And then we have this beautifully lightly toasted crepe. Now usually the first crepe is not the prettiest, so we consider this our practice crepe. But I have to say, this actually looks pretty good for being our first crepe. And then we'll let this cook for about 20 to 30 seconds or until the bottom starts to get just that really light golden toast to it. Now that I can tell the bottom is lightly toasted, I'm going to take a plate with a paper towel and then just lift the crepe up and onto my plate. And then we'll just let this hang out and cool while we cook the rest of our crepes. Well, here we have our beautiful stack of oat flour crepes. And now you get to decide how you want to fill them, and if you want to roll them up like a little crepe burrito, or you can fold them into fours, just like that. And my family loves to come in and just snack on them like this before we even get to the filling. You can see how light and fluffy they are and how easily they tear. Those are so good. And I love that earthy oat flavor, and then it has the perfect amount of sweetness coming in from the maple syrup. And they couldn't be any easier to make, and I love that they're made with clean, natural ingredients. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today in my kitchen. I've included a link to the full recipe in the video description below, which takes you to my website, gentletummy.com. And I also invite you to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you know someone else who would love this recipe, please share this video with them. And I cannot wait to have you again with me in my kitchen next time.